Tomorrow.
At a time when the families of this country are hurting, inflation is eating into people's paychecks, people are very concerned about their future, and even if wages are going up a little, they're falling further and further behind the families of America are each month as Joe Biden's been president because costs have gone up so high. The Democrats are going to make it worse if they're able to pass this reckless tax and spending bill. So,
These two senators, it almost sounds like they crossed you personally. You used the word jihad.
As much as I admire Joe Manchin and Sinema for standing up to the radical left at times, they're empowering legislation that will make the average person's life more difficult at a time they can't afford higher gas taxes. They're going to get it. At a time we create jobs, it's going to be harder because the incentives to do so are gone. So I'm hoping that we can come up with proposals that will make sense to a few of them, and they will abandon this jihad their own to tax and spend. But I just turn it over to John now, but to Joe Manchin, you have a game plan that counts on something you need to really think long and hard about.
I'm sure others would have comments, but let me point out that they say that
we work well together on things that make sense. You're the same people that told us the American Rescue Plan would save us all. It gave us a 40-year high in inflation and a recession. So to Manchin and Sinema, I admire you at times and I oppose you now. And I think what you're doing is that you're empowering the most radical people in this country to tax and spend at a time we can ill afford it. You're making it harder to get out of recession that we're in. You're going to increase gas prices, not lower them. And I think they need to be held accountable, and I intend to do that.
Senator Graham.
Republicans support this package if it didn't have any new government spending and it just addressed debt.
These votes are going to be hard votes for the Democrats. And I think the question for both Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema is, if any of these amendments succeed at the end, will you or will you not vote for the wraparound amendment? Because they both said that they won't vote after they felt like in the American Rescue Plan they voted for a wraparound amendment and felt like they were misled by their leadership at the time that they would never vote for one of those again. So if we have some success with amendments through this process, and we will be targeting certain areas of the bill, the question is at the end, are those amendments going to be amendments that actually might change the bill, could make it better?
In July, we had 500,000 jobs, unemployment rate was 3.5%, as low as it's ever been.
But I think we kind of expected the Democrats to fall in because, as has been pointed out by my colleagues here, that it's an article of faith with Democrats that when they have power, they're going to raise taxes, they're going to spend money, and they're going to grow government. I mean, that's what they do.